Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Planescape Torment. Alright, we've got a person here who wants to talk to us, apparently. Sir, might I have a word with you? Sure. The slender young man approaches you wearing a somewhat worried expression. 1,000 pardons, sir, but I am looking for a certain man, and I think you might be able to help me. How so? I'm a messenger, sir, who seeks a man who's said cannot die. A scarred man for whom death is nothing but the most trivial of annoyances. I mean, there's so many people like that. I don't know who you could be talking about. You match the admittedly vague description I was given, sir. It's actually kind of specific. And I had wondered if you were he. Who wants to know? I am in the hire of a wealthy noblewoman, Yomi Sirma, sir. I am the man you're looking for. How did you recognize the never dying part? That's what I want to know. He nods and bows deeply to you. A message for you then, sir. Mistress Yomi of House Sirma, a lady of high standing, has sent me. Mistress Yomi would meet you in the Civic Fest Hall, where she would make a proposal, of which I know nothing, to you. Should you choose to seek her out, she wears green silks trimmed with gold, and has hair the color of blue steel. That is the extent of my message, sir. Farewell. Wait, where's the Civic Fest Hall?
Updated my journal.
In the northeastern corner of this part of the clerk's ward, sir. 'Tis a large structure and should be easy to spot. Farewell now, sir. Alrighty. We have an old poet. We've got Eli Havelock, and we've got a building. Let's go in the building first. Hey, it's a brothel. Anna's tail seems to be wagging excitedly.
I'm gone.
Brothel patron? Someone with a name that I just happen to recognize. Before you is a stunning golden-haired woman dressed in an azure and violet dress, with two long, elegant wings draped across her shoulders. She is surveying the room with a slight smile. She is easily the most beautiful woman you have ever seen. You hear that, Anna? Ignore the winged woman, explore the building. Greetings!
Well met, traveler. How may I help you?
The woman turns as you address her. She takes your measure, then nods slightly. You notice her eyes are azure, the exact same color as her dress. She reaches up to brush back a stray lock of golden hair. Who are you?
Updated my journal.
I am called Fall from Grace. She studies you for a moment. You are new to Sigil, are you not? Yes, I am, does it show? No, I suspect I have been here for quite some time, actually. Fall from Grace, that's an interesting name. Let's go with the second one. I had no idea she was in here, just in case people were wondering. Fall from Grace raises an eyebrow. Indeed. Yes, but that is a long tale, perhaps longer than I know. I'm more interested in what this place is. Yes, but that is a tale for another time. I must take my leave. Farewell. No. Go for the first option. This is the brothel of slating intellectual lusts. She studies you for a moment. I take it by your question that you do not intend to partake of this establishment? Brothel of slaking intellectual lusts? What kind of brothel is this? I established this brothel to give those lustful fevers that strike the mind more avenues of expression rather than the simply carnal. Much pleasure can be had in conversation and engaging in the verbal arts with others. Sounds dull. Oh, come on, Mort. I assure you it is not. Tour the brothel, see for yourselves. So, this is a brothel, where there's no intercourse? I have to ask, why did you establish such a place? I may do that. Can I ask you some other questions first? Yeah, I like the second option. Fall from Grace raises an eyebrow. That is an odd question. She frowns. I don't think anyone has ever asked me that, at least directly. My apologies, Lady Grace. I didn't mean to be so direct. I was merely curious. Oh, no apologies necessary. I am more than happy to discuss the reasons with you, if you wish. I would like to hear them, yes. Part of the answer to your question requires that you know that I am a member of the Society of Sensates. Our faction believes that one should experience as much of the multiverse as possible. And that is why you established this place? This brothel is intended to slate the lusts of even the hardened intellectual. It is designed to stimulate the mind, to heighten one's awareness of themselves and others, to create new ways of experiencing another person. It is for those who seek something more than the shallow physical pleasures that fill the hive in the lower wards. I see, so this establishment just encourages intellectual fencing rather than, well, the other kind of fencing. The women here must be special indeed. The women here are aspiring sensates. They have come to me in search of instruction to prepare themselves to enter the faction. Also, many of them have a natural grasp of language that can shatter the crust of the most hardened individual. I see, so the ladies here are ladies in training, so to speak. That seems like a very improper turn of phrase. Sensates? She bows slightly. Yes, I am a member of the Society of Sensation. Our faction believes that one should experience as much of the multiverse as possible. And the girls here are in training to be sensates? Yes, I hope that by learning the art of language and its subtleties, that the patrons and the students here may learn more about themselves. One is only as limited as their command of the language. To be able to employ language to evoke emotions in others is a tremendous skill. I see. Can I ask you some other questions? Yes? Who are you again? If I may ask, Lady Grace, what's in your back? You are not human, I take it. May not want to ask that right now. Let's see if I can come back to that. What is this place? I came here looking for help. Can you tell me about the sensates? I do like the sensates. They're a pretty good faction. Of course, I'm also a fan of the Doom Guard, so, you know, I mean... Have you ever heard of a night hag named Ravel? Would you like to join me in my travel? Wow, that's awfully direct. Let's start with this one, since we are looking for this night hag. I am familiar with the name. Fall from Grace pauses and thinks for a moment. Rumors cluster thickly about that name, and most tend to discount her as myth, but I suspect that she did exist, and that she made quite an impression in the cage during her stay here. She looks puzzled. Why do you ask? I intend to seek her out. Grace raises an eyebrow. Truly? I find myself compelled to ask why. I need information that she has. Is this information available from no one else? I suspect that only Ravel possesses the knowledge that I need. See, every time I see the name, I want to pronounce it Ravel, as in Maurice Ravel, but I suspect that's not how it's supposed to be pronounced. It could be. But, so I trip up with the name every time. I would probably spell it differently, like if I were doing my own notes on, you know, if this were an adventure that I was running, I would probably spell it differently in my notes, so I wouldn't mispronounce it.
Updated my journal.
Grace rests her hand lightly on your arm. Consider this. If Ravel does indeed exist, then she's extremely powerful and cunning. If a fraction of the stories of her activities are true, then she is a creature that has discovered new meanings of evil. To search her out is not a quest to be undertaken lightly. I realize that. Do you know anything else about Ravel? She was said to be one of the hags of the Grey Waste. Well, that's given by the fact that she's a night hag. And that she was believed to possess powers and a cunning far beyond those of her sisters. She came to Sigil long ago, and in addition to the evils she committed during her stay, rumor has it that her actions threatened the cage itself. Now she primarily exists only as fiction, a figure in children's stories. Grace pauses. I imagine that Lady of Pain dealt with her as all threats to Sigil are dealt with. Let's start asking about the Grey Waste first, why not?
Updated my journal.
What is the Grey Waste? A blighted plain that lies effectively between Bator and the Abyss. It is frequently a battleground in the Blood War. Do you know what happened to Ravel? Ravel was most likely sent to a maze, one of the lady's prisons. Mazes? What are those?
Updated my journal.
Grace places her hands together, thumbs and fingers touching, forming a rough circle. The lady is said to have the power to take pieces of Sigil. You watch in surprise as a ghostly image of Grace's little finger pulls itself from the hand and floats into the air, curling into a small circle. and make a maze. Go on. The small ghostly circle floats in the air, then begins slowly rotating. The piece of sigil she takes holds the prisoner. There is no escaping being mazed. It can happen at any time while walking down the street through a door. She claps her hands. And then you are somewhere else. Inside the ghostly circle, you can suddenly see a flicker of movement, like someone walking inside. Go on. Grace continues, a tiny ghost maze reflected in her eyes. It is said there is a portal that leads out of each maze, but they are difficult to find. Perhaps they are left to give the prisoner hope. Perhaps they are left in to torture the prisoner. The ghostly maze dissolves. Perhaps it is both. I think I understand. Is there anyone else who might know more about Ravel? Someone in the fest hall know more of her. Alright, can I ask you some other questions?
Updated my journal.
I think we know her well enough to be intrusive. If I may ask, Lady Grace, the wings on your back, you are not human, I take it. Ah, Anna's popping up. Of course, it's a new recording session. Let's see if I can get the, bad southern drawl I used for her. She's one of the fiends, one of the succubi, she is. She'll take your measure and then she'll take your soul to the lower planes, so she will. Your companion is correct. I'm a lesser Tanari, more specifically a succubus. She gives a soft sigh. I'm afraid we're a little too common in the lower planes and elsewhere for our own good. Most of my race spend their time seducing mortals with various pleasures of the flesh. And you?
Updated my journal.
I'd like to think that I have distanced myself from that. It is ultimately a trivial and non-productive way for one to spend one's time here in the multiverse. There's much more to life, don't you agree? Perhaps so. Can I ask you some other questions? We already know what this place is. Came here looking for help. Perhaps you can help me? Help? What kind of help are you looking for? I seem to have lost my memories. In so doing, I've lost myself. You've been stricken with amnesia? Fall from Grace looks pained. How terrible. Do you have any idea how it happened? Not really, at least not that I can remember. I woke up on a slab in the mortuary, and everything before that is black. You awoke in the mortuary? I think the dustman mistook me for being dead, or I was dead, or something. All I know is that I regenerate wounds quickly. I could be immortal, but I don't even know that for sure. Fall from Grace seems to be appraising you with a renewed interest. Those scars on your body. She reaches out a hand as if to touch you. May I? Sure. Fall from Grace draws her finger across your chest lightly, tracing the edges of your scars and following the curves where they blend into some of your tattoos. She seems fascinated. These scars do look as though they would have taken several lifetimes to accumulate. They certainly do, though some are more recent. Fall from Grace steps back. Some of those wounds would have been fatal. To a normal man, she taps her chin, thinking. What do you intend to do now? I need to get my memories back, and my life back. I intend to scour the plains and search inside myself until I can piece together who I am and what brought me to this state. I don't really know. For the moment, I'm just searching for clues to who I am and what happened to me. Let's be forthright about this. Fall from Grace is still thinking, her finger tapping on her chin. I must say, I've never met a man who had lost himself in the literal sense. She raises an eyebrow. Forgive me, but your condition is intriguing. I'm glad you think so. Intriguing? Frightening is more like it. I don't like not knowing who I am, what I may have done, who my enemies are, and who are my friends. Let's go with that. I have offended you with my words. Oh, I didn't mean that as that. Apology accepted. Fall from Grace nods. If it will help, you are welcome to tour the brothel. Several of our students are well versed in the verbal arts. Perhaps some of them will be able to rekindle your memories. I may do that.
Updated my journal.
Well, if I've got the option, and I do know that she is a party member, Would you like to join me on my travels? Anna stiffens and starts muttering under her breath.
Who's to say she'll be coming with us? We didn't need the likes of her, so we don't.
Bar that, fiendling. Mort clicks his teeth together. I'm all for the succubus coming with us. Powers know you're about as fun as passing a caltrop through your bowels. It's not like you would know anything about that, Mort.
You'd best latch your bone box, Skull. I'll rattle you so hard they'll be picking your teeth off the spire.
Travel with you? Fall from Grace smiles slightly. She seems to be ignoring your companions. That's rather forward of you. I'd rather be honest with my intentions. You seem extremely pleasant and well-versed in the ways of the plains. A companion with that kind of knowledge would be welcome. That's the way I am. I mean, how exciting can this place be? You're a sensei. Surely there must be a limit to how much you can learn here. I'll be honest about my intentions. Hey, wait just a minute. I'm the one well-versed in the plains. That's my job, Chief. Having two people knowledgeable about the plains in our band seems pretty smart to me. Besides, I said pleasant too, Mort. Pleasant on the eyes, maybe. Looks to me like all some shit has to do is show a little skin, and you'll sign her right up. Mort falls silent. Not that I mind, really. Just thought I'd mention it. Noted, Mort. Look, Lady Grace, excuse me if I'm being too forward, but would you care to travel with us?
I appreciate your candor. I shall counter with some of my own. Why should I travel with you?
You mean you wouldn't be interested in traveling with an immortal amnesiac who's searching the plains for himself? Lady Grace, I intend to travel to plains perhaps no one else has ever been to, or could reach. Would that interest you? 3 and 4 definitely seem out. 1 and 2 seem pretty good, but I don't know how I would know that I'm going to places no one else has ever been to. I like the first option.
Oh, I would be extremely interested. She smiles slightly. Such a suggestion is intriguing. Make no mistake about that.
Then you would like to travel with me, then?
If you wish me to, then there is something you must do for me. There are 10 students in this establishment. I would like you to speak to all of them, then return to me with your thoughts. Then we shall see if we shall travel together or not.
I will go speak to them, then. I will return when I have spoken to all of them.
Updated my journal.
All right, let's see. No, it's a spellbook. Where's my journal? Fall from Grace is a succubus, one of the Tonari. A creature literally formed of raw chaos and evil. Her body and mind the perfect template to tempt a man of any species, any age. She is a proprietress of the brothel of slating intellectual lusts. I guess that's an Azure dress. Alright, well, let's see. There's a couple brothel patrons, but I imagine that these rooms are going to be... Oh, well, there's Delora. There's some more Modrons. As you make to search the armoire, its handles suddenly yank out of your grasp as the drawers slam themselves shut. A disdainful humph issues from the cabinet. Hello? Hello indeed, the armoire gives another humph. So what have we here? Rogue after some lady's frilly undergarments? Well, that's a panty raid. Come on, give me a break. You talk? Do I? Why, yes, I do. Who are you? I am Lewis, and who are you? Thoughtless, uncouth fellow rummaging about in other people's things. Never mind that. What are you doing here? Well, sir, if you must know, I am being an armoire. But why are you being an armoire in this brothel? I happen to have become an armoire because I want to be an armoire, thank you very much. It's not to watch the ladies undressing, nor to have them place their soft, sweet-smelling undergarments in my drawers where they can rub against my skin. You don't have skin. Shut up, you know what I mean. Such accusations are an insult to a practitioner of the magic arts. I am merely soaking in the experience of what it means to be an armoire. The sights, the smells, the sensations. So all the women know about this, then? Yes, they do, and they wholeheartedly approve of, well, not with their entire hearts exactly. And while they have not spoken of their approval in my presence, since they are not exactly aware that I am an armoire, I would not want them to know that I am anything but, and so have not been able to inquire upon the matter. I'll need something from you to keep quiet about this one. Very well, Posh. Open the third drawer, you scalawag. As you reach your hand into the drawer, it slams shut on your fingers with great force. Searing pain races through your hand as you withdraw your battered fingers. Ha ha, cretin! Idiot! Open the drawer, I said, and you reach in! He slams his drawer again for emphasis, then begins shaking with laughter. I'm going to tell them right now. First, I would tell you this one thing. I have been popping in and out of the brothel for a good long time. I'm quite knowledgeable regarding both its occupants and their activities. I assure you that talking about me is utterly worthless. Not only will you lose me as a potential source of information, but I'll simply disappear before someone comes to investigate your claims, leaving you looking the fool. Maybe I'll just chop you up for kindling then. You'll do nothing of the sort. Why, even the most common of men knows that one can't commit an act of violence within the brothel. You'll simply be cast out. And even if that were not the case, I assure you my command of the art is quite impressive. I had some questions then. Yes? Can you return to normal form at will? Can you tell me about this place? Do you know anything about Ravel Puzzlewell? Can you return to your normal form at will? The armoire seems to think about this for a moment. I have no need to share such secrets with the likes of you, and besides, there is no cause to change back to at the present moment, since I have not yet experienced the full sensations of being an armoire. It is a complex thing to hold and sort soft, frilly clothes, smelling of wondrous woman scents. Drawer slides open and closed, the sound mimicking a pleasant sigh. I had another question. You're really a pervert, aren't you? Can you tell me about this place? I would have a man find out for himself rather than tell him the whole of it. After all, that's half the joy of the entire experience. I'll only tell you that which you likely know already. It's called the Brothel of Slating Intellectual Lusts, and the prostitutes within specialize in the art of language and communication. Another question. Is this going to go back to the same thing? Yeah. Do you know anything about Ravel Puzzlewell? Few folks who've dwelled in Sigil for any... Shouldn't they be dwelt? I don't know. In Sigil for any length of time don't. I must wonder, though, what it is about her you wish to know. I need to find her. You're mad, you know. Quite mad. Utterly barmy, I believe, is the common term for it. Ravel was banished from Sigil long ago. And if she's not dead, you'll wish you were, should you somehow succeed in finding her. She devoured all those who sought her out before, it is said, and will likely do the same... do you the same disservice. I would leave well enough alone. That's all I wish to know. Farewell. Finham's book. No one seems to care about me taking the book. Finham's book. This is the research journal of the linguist named Finham. Okay, well. We have a research journal. Quadrones. Are those quadrones? Yeah, I think so. One thing that I don't like about Planescape is turning these into mechanical, beings of mechanical appearance, the Modrons. I actually much preferred it when they were basically organic. Or at least they looked organic to me. If you look in the first edition material, right, nothing there. Container is locked.
Aye? Might as well.
A gold ring. No one seems to care.
I'm gone.
I'll talk to people after I loot. That's... Nenny Nine Eyes. It's kind of my, Kind of the way I roll. Get the goods.
Might as well.
Probably should have quick saved first. Well, they don't seem to care. I am perfectly fine with that. Thank you. Handkerchief. This is an unremarkable silk handkerchief. It's probably another one of those items that doesn't do anything like the
All
rags,
right.
but I'll take it. Echo the Dolphin changed form? Who knew?
Ready. Might as well.
Nothing there. Let's check this one first. Nope, nothing. I like the music in here.
All right.
I am honestly very surprised that no one seems to care about us looting everything.
I'm here.
Is this Fall from Grace's room, I wonder?
Why not?
Didn't I do that?
Got it.
There we go. Silver bracelet, another handkerchief. Gold earring. Another gold earring.
I'm gone.
Guys, yeah, thank you. Open the door. Oh. Where does this go? Brothel cellar.
I'm gone.
That is a very large statue there. We can mess with that. It's all different colors. There's no one down here except for the brothel caretaker. Alright, well, let's not do anything with this just yet.
All right.
Let's check out the other rooms, see what goodies they have. Come, open the door, people. Thank you. Jeez. I suppose I could just
What?
run
Might as
around
well.
with Anna and do this. Let's see. It's a silver earring. Some coins. Yeah, just run around with Anna. Loot everything. Kasai Saris. Oh, whoops. Wasn't locked. Anything in here? Yes, indeed. Another handkerchief. They don't weigh anything and they stack, so why not? This door is already open. I need to close that door? Yep, probably. A silver ring. Another gold earring. Anything in here? Another handkerchief. Again, might as well take it. Why not? Yves the Tail Chaser. Well, Yves, you might, you might like, Anna here. Alright, we got a letter. This is a passionate, steamy, and rather graphic love letter. Who's it to, who it's to, and whom it's from, however, are quite vague. Alright, well, That's right. For some reason, it almost looks like there's nothing there. The punch daggers in the background are really close together. Anyway, in the next episode, we will go ahead and get started talking to the other prostitutes here. But that will be next time. See you then, everyone.